Hello everyone, busygamerdad back again, going to be continuing our 7th Saga long play, which we do every week on busygamerdad channel. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come along on the adventure. A little bit of a status on things. I did some research online to kind of probe and see where we should go, what we should do, if there was anything I missed, and it turns out there was. You'll note that we're actually in a brand new town from where we last left off, and that's by design. So we are now in a town that I didn't think we could actually get to, and found out that we could get to Dwayne, which is a very important town because this town actually affords us the flame cloak, and we've got to find it. It's in the town somewhere on like one of the back sides of the buildings. I think it's the back of the armor shop, maybe? Is it like back here? And once we get this, we'll actually be super set up for, yep, Cloak of Fire is lying at your feet. Do you want to take it? Yes. So this should afford us some fire resistance when we go to the new continent that we took our glider to and crash landed on. All by design, all absolutely by design. So if I put this on to Asuna, I believe that takes place at the ring. It does not. So hang on, we have 64 defense. Item, what is this? What is the 64 versus... 26. Interesting. So we'll try it out. That's all I can say is we'll simply try it out, because this wasn't like a necessary thing for us to go to the new continent, but it was something that helped out tremendously. We could always give it to Lux, but I don't think Lux can actually use it. The other cool thing about this place is this is actually where you where if you let the opening credits cycle through, this is where King Lemuel comes and tells the alien Wilmy that he wants him in his retinue of apprentices that he's training. So pretty cool. I thought it was worthwhile to mention that. There's a couple other places that we had forgotten to mention that, like, I guess actually Doros is where Camille is from, or maybe a better way of saying that is Doros is where the warriors from Padel were being employed, and there's some lore or some conspiracy theory that because King Lemuel took Camille the human warrior from his post in Doros, that he weakened the garrison there, and that's how Doros came to power. I'm sorry, I'm saying Doros. It's not the city of Doros. What is it? It's not the city of Doros. I'm sorry, I'm saying the wrong names, and I'm going to get you guys confused. Biltham. So Camille, the human warrior, was supposed to be posted or stationed in Biltham, and the conspiracy theory is that when King Lemuel took the human warrior Camille, or when King Lemuel took Camille from his post in Biltham, he weakened the garrison, thus allowing Doros to get into a position of power inside of Biltham by taking over the people's minds. So I thought it was a pretty cool, like, conspiracy theory kind of thing. Where this town is located, just in case you're doing this for your playthroughs, just so you know, it is actually, it looks like you can't make it here on the map. You can see on the right hand side where we're at, where our little Pip is. If you're playing with Asuna, or with, I believe maybe it's just Asuna, but it looks like you can't make it because the mountain range, the light colored area on the map, it looks like it goes from coast to coast. That's actually not the case. So if you fast travel to Tifana, or if you fast travel to, I believe actually the closest one is maybe it's Belaine, actually. Let's see, let's fast travel and we'll show you. Let's check. I don't want to give you misinformation. Yeah, so if you travel to Belaine, and then walk down the side of the coast there on the far right, you can actually make it. You can actually make it to Dwayne and get that for yourself. There's no other tricks or anything like that. And it is a bit harsh. There are some really tough encounters there. I'll show you the kind of monsters that you end up fighting. Not anything that we haven't seen before, but it's definitely some things to be considerate of as you're making your way around and everything like that. So, like you're fighting demons and you're red demons. You're fighting a couple other the sages. That's the big one. The sages are actually probably the hardest ones to deal with. And then you have these stone witches, is what they're called. We haven't seen these guys in a while. We kind of outpaced them. But yeah, just as a case in point, and sorry my ramblings are a little all over the place. It's early in the morning. I haven't had my coffee yet, but this is the only window I've had a chance. I will have a chance to play at. So yeah, at the end of the day, this is where we're going to be starting our adventure. We're going to be. I just wanted to show you this. I wanted to get you the fire cloak. I wanted to show you how to. Let's get the light rune, use that on Asuna, and then we'll use like Blizzard probably is probably the best one. Good dodge, and then you're gonna turn into a rock. Oh no. Oh good, it didn't work. Nice. Alright, cool. We're at the point now where we're gonna be leaning on really wow. Oh, he's probably got magic resistance to ice. We'll defend. Good dodge. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you, just in case you're looking for maybe a completionist run in a way. Oh, you would revive him. You jerk. Die. Punch him in the face. Let's do ice 2. Yeah, so the fire cloak should become pretty useful for us. Now, you could argue that, hey, you probably wanted that when you went through Biltham to fight Doros, because a lot of those guys seem to use a lot of fire magic. And you know what? You're not wrong. That is probably a really smart idea if you have the patience and knew more about the game, which I didn't know. So, yeah, you can get this at basically any point after you get across to this side of the continent and make your way over to Belaine. And it is a useful tool. It is something that's very useful for us. So that's the opening, the intro to our episode here. So I wanted to show you that, but now I'm gonna jump our way back to the ice continent, and we're gonna make our way to the south. So I'm gonna actually stay at the inn over here, up in here. Yeah, cool. Cool. The good news is the inns seem to all be around 12 gold apiece, so that's not terrible. That's not terrible at all. Is there any of the apprentices here? I don't think there are. I have yet to see any other apprentices, so yeah. Another cool little detail for the game, if you didn't see this before, this is our crash. See how everything's snow covered except for this area? They melted the snow in the crash site. I didn't realize that until I was doing some solo gameplay and getting myself to where we were in Dwayne. But I had noticed that and I was like, oh wow, I'd actually never noticed that little detail in the game. So now I'll give you a status of where we're at. When I was doing my solo game and making my way to Dwayne, I did gain a level up. But as you can see, we're at like 5-digit requirements for experience to gain a level. That's a lot. And that is probably about 40 minutes of gameplay with a companion. Probably only around 20 if you're doing the game solo. There is an option to obviously never have a companion and to gain experience solo and get a lot better off for yourself. But yeah, we're just not able to do that because we have a companion. I'm gonna actually I'm gonna get into combat right now. I believe we need to go down to the south and find. Oh, this is not despair. This is another monster. I hope that you are not terrible to deal with, but we're gonna find out. Nope, you're gonna be terrible to deal with. Alright, so he did a melee attack, so that tells me I'm going to want to use the star rune. I'm on defense up. We're probably in a position right now where we're best suited to take every fight that we can possibly take, just to stay relevant, to stay ahead of the curve as much as possible. I am glad I have the cloak on, because that was probably going to kill me if I did not have the cloak on. Yep, so hooray, already paying dividends. The whole point of this episode, the whole scope for our episode today, is we are going to, ouch, get burned alive. We are going to poke at trying to make our way down the continent. The next chapter, I have no idea what to expect. I just know that this continent is our next step overall. So these were called despairs before. Now doom. Okay, doom and despair. That tracks. That tracks. And Lux gained at level 25. That's awesome. Hopefully he gained some speed, because that would be really helpful. Power, guard, magic 2, speed 4. Nice. That's actually really helpful. Speed is critical for him, because if he can act before the enemy, will be better. Oh, I wanted to go into here and I wanted to see my map real quick. Okay, yeah, I'm just double checking to see there's nothing out here, and I don't think there is. They wouldn't have two cities close together like this. Oh, this is going to be a rough fight. I think I'm going to try and take it, though. All right, we'll do the star rune. We'll star rune it up. Get some defense going. Ouch. And then star rune, use that on you. And then we're going to use this as a bit of recovery. You don't need to do that. You don't need to defense up. You don't need to do that, guys. You don't. You're strong. Strong, strong. I'm going to have you use the water rune right now, because you took a big chunk and you're like half health. So, yeah. I don't think the Cloak of Fire is going to do much to help us out. But I will do the light rune on Asuna, and then I will cast probably Blizzard. That's going to help us out. Ouch. Oh no, instant death. But we're okay. We are okay. Alright, magic. You know what? Swing for the fences. Blizzard 2. Even though it's a huge amount of experience, magic points, I want to see how much it does. 75, 85, 89. So not bad. Got them each below health, half health. And we are able to avoid that. Nice. Ouch. There. Okay. Here, I'm going to have you do the water rune. I'm going to have you heal Asuna. Get her health back up. And then I think what we should do is probably just try and do that again. I mean, what's the worst could happen? We miss entirely? Well, we miss one. Okay. That's fine. 60. Yeah, so, okay, that only does it for one turn. Yes, every single one we've dodged. That's not always going to be the case. So I don't know what that spell's called. I'm going to call it, like, Eclipse, just to call it something. But it is an instant death spell. And I don't have any way of avoiding it. As far as I know, I don't know if there's any type of passive ability that allows us a chance to avoid it better than others, but we do not have access to that at this point. Okay, so the reason why I took that fight is because they give so much experience, and that was a really good fight for us. We were able to handle it pretty well. All right, does not look like there's anything up here. Nope, there's not. Okay, good. Yeah, nothing. All right, then we're gonna go back to Valeneka and to oh, this is going to be a rough one. We'll do the star rune here on Asuna. Well, this will be a good test for the Cloak of Fire, though. Alright, so if you happen to see last episode when we first got here, that did, I think, around 40 to 50 damage, and now having it cut down by 3/4 is actually pretty awesome. Let's have you do Blizzard 2. Swing for the fences. 100 damage, 136. Oh, nearly one-shot the, that is a griffin, by the way. The snake monster is a griffin. Ah, okay, so now we're in a bit of a bind. We're gonna probably lose. Yeah, we're dead. Oh, he ran away. Ran away and finished us off. Like, the game knew. The game knew. Alright, so that happens. That's fine. That's okay. I'm okay with that. It is okay. That's why I stayed at the inn where I did. And that's okay. It's not like we're going to lose our runes or anything like that. So, that would have been nice to get some experience from them. But it is what it is. The healing house is actually over here. That guy's the oracle or prophet or something like that. So let's do this. Let's talk here. Yeah, we had about 8,000 gold. More like 10,000 gold. So I'm not upset. I'm not. I mean, there were a couple of times when that kept on happening when we were on the divergent path for those 3 runes that I was just getting burned out. And that's just because I was trying to force things. In this game, you can't. You just got to accept it that you're going to die. There's going to be some fights that just RNG not in your favor, and you are dead. Hopefully the train coming through doesn't disrupt the video. Alright, so we're going to get ourselves to the south. Going to get ourselves down to the south, and then we're going to see what's going on here, because evidently that's where the warriors in that town went, and they did not return. The sword, this thing, no matter what we do to it, will only take 1 damage. It's one of those fights where it just has super high defense, and both magic and physical. So we can just defend and strike him. Defend. Good block. Defend. Crits are good. Darn, missed. And he runs away. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And every single time we fight him, or, well, we have a 100% drop rate on fighting him, and he gives us a sword. The sword is literally called a sword, and I don't know if it's like something for one of the other, like it's one of the best weapons or better weapons at this time for the, for like, I don't know, Camel or for Legis. I think those are the only 2 that can really use swords. Let's see, what do I want to do? Yeah, I'll focus on this guy. The Warlock is probably the harder one to KO. I think so. Yep, ouch. Yeah, and that's fair. That's fair. Water Rune, use that. Get Asuna back up to somewhat fuller health. That would be very nice. Magic. Then he makes it so he has to heal himself. No, petrifies. Okay, and we're a rock. We are a rock. We'll do Water Rune here. Use that on Lux. Yep, glad I did that. Everyone okay? Everyone is okay. The Eclipse spell did not work. And your healing, which is super fun. Thank you so much for that. Item, Water Rune, use, Lux. Magic, so yeah. I was thinking about it, and I don't know if I said this like subconsciously out loud on these videos yet or not, but I really think that this game is as close to a Souls RPG that you can get into. It is just super challenging, and these trash monster fights have just as much potency as what was that ability? That looked really cool. Whatever that was. Maybe that's Ice 3. But these trash monster fights have just as much potency as bosses do. And bosses are, you know, obviously even more of a step up. Oh, good, we double dodged. That's awesome. I didn't know what was going to happen there. I was really should have actually healed Lux with Asuna. And he's still probably dead. Okay. So, that happened. We'll have to run back to town. We got the Warlock dead, but this guy's probably going to revive him. I think he has that utility. I'm not certain. But hey, at the end of the day, still experience. We're still getting some good stuff. Ouch. Let's swing for the fences, and if we die, we die. It's okay. It is okay. Are we dead? I don't think we're dead. It's the exact amount of damage. Yeah, these things happen. Alright, so we made it on the inner coast. So let's try the outer coast and see what we can do. Let's see here. So now we're down to about 2,000 gold, roughly. Yeah. Yeah, roughly about 2,000 gold. Yep. And that's okay. That's how it goes. That's why I encouraged you guys before, when you have the option to buy the gems in this game. So the gems are a utility inside the game where you don't lose money, or you don't lose that if you die. And I should say when you die. Because what they'll do is the monsters want the loose change, whatever. They like the pocket change for some reason. I don't know. But that's just what they go after in your inventory. They leave everything else alone. So it's like they covet gold. Oh, hey, this encounter again. We just fought them. Let's do the Sky Rune here. Use on Asuna so she gets some defense. I didn't want to do the Sky Rune. I wanted to do the Star Rune. Not the Sky Rune. Sorry. Coffee needed. Yeah, that looks like a really cool spell, whatever that is. I don't know if that's like Ice 3 or something, but I would love to know what that is. And how do I get it? We live. Okay. Good. Good, good, good. Oh, no, we're a rock. You can use the water rune. Keep yourself topped off. Having a companion is actually pretty helpful. Having that extra potential for things. Water rune, use. Yeah, use it on Asuna. And now are we both rocks? Yay, rock buddies! Yay! Yeah, I don't know what that spell is. It's pretty cool, regardless. He's probably gonna heal himself now. No, defense up. Okay. Rock. Oh, Lux is dead. Yeah, he did. Okay. Hit this guy right here. Ah, darn it. Ouch. Ooh, good dodge. There. Now it's gonna force the heal or the revive. Okay, he didn't do the heal. We have a chance. We have a chance. Got it. Nice. Okay. Cool. Wyrock. I thought it was a warlock, but it's a Wyrock. So definitely not worth it by comparison. No. Good, made it. Phew. Phew. So, Lux unfortunately did not get any of that experience, but our main character did. So that's okay by me. And we did recover a bunch of money. So, not a total loss. Not a total loss. Alright, here, talk, heal, yes, there we are, yay, nope, don't need any help. I mean, I need help, but nothing you can provide right now. Nothing you can provide right now. Alright. So this is the point in the episode where I'm going to say, yeah, this is just, we're trying to make our way down this continent. We're going to try and do what we can on repeat. I hope you guys have been enjoying this playthrough. It kind of showcases older RPG mentality. This was originally released on the Super Nintendo, and it was not... this is by Enix, by the way. So, you know, Square-enix, that big company. Yeah, this is by Enix, before it was owned by Square. This game is meant to test your fortitude in any and every way possible. And it's not meant to be taken lightly. I think that's what a lot of people's misgivings with this game center around is this, by modern standards, would be considered a sadist kind of game where you play it knowing full well that you're just going to get frustrated, that you're going to get upset, and it's not a bad thing. It's the big thing about this game that I will always take away from it is this is when developers were learning how to do learning curves, and I just fat fingered that. This is not Mario RPG. This is not later Final Fantasies. I am really misdoing all my buttons. This game is meant to, was meant to show how to think critically, how to weigh risk and reward, and how to develop RPGs in the future, and to test the waters to see what worked and what didn't. And I can't stress that enough, that because of where this game was, when this game was released, the idea that you could just win every fight that the trash monster fight by grinding was still a very, very foreign notion. And even right here, you can see I'm still struggling with this one monster. So I think that if you were to play this game on emulation, or if you were to try and find another game from this company before it was bought out, you would be in a similar boat. This is meant to challenge your patience and meant to challenge your critical thinking and your also your luck. It's meant to be, a very, I would say, RNG based game. And I haven't talked about that in a while, but this was par for the course for a lot of these style of games back in the day on the Super Nintendo. Like Final Fantasy 4, when that was released in the States as Final Fantasy 2, people played that game and fell in love with JRPGs. And that's what started this slow release of other IPs from Square-enix and other developers. That's what created the Chrono Trigger IP. And a big thing that people forget is there were all these other games before it that were terrible games, that were games that by today's standards would be almost like overwhelmingly negative on the Steam page reviews. So take it for a grain of salt that you have this idea in your head that RPGs are meant to be, you can just grind and get powerful and be okay. That's not this game. That's not games from the mid-90s, which is what this game really is. No, I didn't want to do that. So again, I'm just rambling and hitting buttons and making it all sorts of hard for myself. All right, we're going to do that. We're going to get ourselves back on track. So, yeah. That's where my ramblings were. Sorry. To say it in summary, this RPG hard on purpose. There you go. There it was. That's it. Alright, so let's get rid of this guy. Ouch. Oh no, Lux is dead. I wonder, do we try and do the revive? I mean, we can. We have it. It takes 40. It has yet to work. So maybe? Nope. Didn't work. Ouch. You don't have to... It's like the game tells me that Lux is going to be super far behind our main character. Alright, now do they have a heal? Took the last of my MP. I'm going to defend. And then hit him for... We finished him off with our dagger. Cool. Awesome. Well, that's 1,000 experience just for Asuna. And we're going to run back to town. Nice. Nice. Alright. We'll revive Lux, and then that's where I'm going to end my ramblings and this episode because clearly I am not focused. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little short episode. I think it's short, actually. I don't know. Beyond that, like, comment, subscribe to the Busy Gamer Dad channel. Stay up to date with all the busy games. And we hope to see you next episode where we'll continue our playthrough for the 7th Saga. We will be trying to make our way down this continent. Don't know how easy or hard that's going to be. It looks like it's going to be pretty challenging. Looks like we're kind of back in that early stages of the Divergent Paths section of the game for the Asuna playthrough where we just can't. We just can't. But I hope to see you for the next continuation of our antics, and hopefully you guys have some good comments on like, hey, maybe you should take a nap, because that's where I'm thinking my brain is at. We'll see you next episode. Later.